So, earlier this year I was invited to, I don't know what you call it, they call it off-sites, don't they, for a company in California? A hackathon. I'm not into hacking, I'm not into coding really. But they wanted me to go along and it was pretty good. Well, some of it was. I mean, I was in a room with 30 socially awkward geeks coding. Yeah. Oddly enough, I was the person who was talking the most. I did try my best to get them all talking. They seemed quite happy just to stand around in silence. I thought that a little bit strange. It's always nice to say something, isn't it? Any old crap, it's nice to say. But just to stand there and whatever, I know there was a vegan there, and she had particularly bad breath. Halitosis. That's I think I'll cover that in a different episode. But I think it's certainly the diet is a factor. I think, and also how hydrated you are as well. But she was particularly foul smelling from the mouth. Yes. Anyhow, I was lucky to be invited. There was a few team building exercises in the actual. I was locked in a hotel for 4 days. It was crazy, yeah. And there was some coding, there was some brainstorming, and it was sort of nice. And it's not. Maybe when I was younger and I did more coding, maybe it was something I would have really enjoyed. This time, I just enjoyed the fact that it was all expenses paid and free wine and food. I don't care meeting people. Meet some really clever people. I mean, some of these people, the most intelligent people on the planet. I mean, it's incredible. Even if they may be socially awkward geeks, they just do some amazing things. So it was good for that. But on one of the days, we went to a place called Mount Hermon. I'm not sure exactly where it is. It's not far from Santa Cruz in California. And it was not my thing at all. I'm extremely scared of heights. Anything above a metre off the ground, I'm a bit, well, it's not the heights, it's the ground, I suppose, I'm scared of. Hitting at high velocity. But, so I'm not a big fan of that. But essentially this is... Mount Hermon is basically a lot of trees around. I don't know what you call that, forest, is it? They're called tall woods, redwoods, the tall trees. And they're about 80 foot high. They're really tall, these things. And they've built this, I don't know what you call it, an assault course. It felt like an assault course. But basically, you wear a helmet, you wear a harness, a dual safety harness, and you attach it to a guide wire, and you go on some of the most ridiculous things. And, I had a lot of opportunity. I could have said no. I'm not doing this. But I didn't. And, it's interesting. So I got harnessed up on the thing, and the first obstacle, it was 80 feet. It was 80 feet. No, sorry, it was a little bit lower. It was about 60 feet up. You started at 60 feet. And the first thing you walk on was essentially they're like wooden, wobbly pieces of wood hanging from wires that wobble all over the show. And you literally go from one to the other, It was horrible. Absolutely horrible. But I did it, and there's a few different things you go on, and eventually you go upwards. You actually climb it upwards, and and every so often there's a big tree. That's the time when I could say I really was a tree hugger. I was holding onto that tree for dear life. God, I was shaking, I was sweating, I was man alive. Anyway, you eventually get to the top, and it's 80 feet up. Yeah, it's a long way down. And then, well, there's only one way down from it, and that's there's 2 zip wires. And I've done a zip wire before. Hey, 47, first time. So I went for it. Hooked on with you get a little trolley thing, you hook on, you hook your harness on the back of where the trolley is, and you go. And I was surprised. I went for it, and I think the main reason was I wanted to get off this bloody tree. 80 feet up, so it went from 80 feet I think down to 40, something like that, and then there was another zip wire that went from 40 feet down to the ground. I think about halfway through, I didn't have quite the correct posture, so my arse went first. I went down the zip wire. Arse was first, yeah. Well, you know, you got to do these things. But I did it, and I was quite impressed with myself, really. It's nice to push yourself a little bit, even when you're getting on in a few years, like myself, and nearly 50. I won't be doing it again, though, not anytime soon.